Can you tell me a little bit about your experience as a track and field coach?
Well, I've coached in college for 27, this will be 28 years, so quite a long time. I coached in high school for 2 years, and I was a runner myself in college and high school, distance runner. So I have a pretty extensive, I mean, most of my life I've been running or been involved in distance running, so I have quite a bit of background.
Can you tell me also about your involvement with the USA national team?
Well, I've coached the U.S. junior team in cross country, the World Cross Country Championships in Ireland, and I've worked with a women's ekiden team that went to Yokohama, Japan. And that was, I think, that was probably about '95, and the World Cross Country team was maybe '97 or '98.
And you were just in Germany recently?
Yeah, I was with the U.S. multi-team. We had the numbers 4 through 10 in the nation for both men and women that were competed in dual meet with the German national team. So it was an exciting competition. We came out on top on the men's side, but lost on the women's side.
That's great. And obviously, you are the head UIC track and field coach and also cross country coach. How many years have you been?
This will be my 12th year here. So
12th year at UIC.
Yeah, so I've been around the United States, but basically in the Midwest coaching.
Can you tell me what considerations do you have at the beginning of the track and field season as far as training?
Well, the first thing we focus on is aerobic base, get the mileage in, get the VO2 max as high as you can when you start in the season. It's very, very important because you build on the VO2 max. If you don't have the VO2 max, it limits how high you can raise the level of running, and I think so. That's why we do the mileage over the summer. And I know most of the athletes probably run between 250 to 300 miles a month, somewhere in there. But the aerobic base is the key to success in the season. If they don't have that, you've got to start with that. And so we find that the ones that do that type of thing are the ones that are most successful. You build a small mountain with small mileage. You build a big mountain with big miles.
How do you divide your athletes to differentiate their specialties?
Well, we have some athletes that are obviously much better at the mile, shorter events. We have some that are much better at the 5,000, 10,000, even the marathon. We adapt the training a little bit to what their strength is. We always have to bring their weaknesses up, and we try and develop the strong points. And so some of the athletes respond better to distance training, some respond better to shorter, faster type of training. And so it depends on the athlete.
How much emphasis do you put on technique development, and when in the season do you emphasize the most?
You know, technique development, there's innate things that people do as they run. And I've learned from over the years, there's almost minimal you can do to change a running technique. A lot of people run the way because of tightness sometimes, muscle inflexibility. Sometimes it has to do with lack of strength. Some of it's just biomechanical restrictions in the body. That's the way they run. Now the way we work to improve their running mechanics is do faster running. That's actually probably the most effective way, because naturally you develop better running technique as you get faster because it's more efficient. A lot of improvement with athletes is more biomechanical efficiency than even conditioning efficiency. And I think we constantly work do speed-oriented tasks to improve their running efficiency. It's not so much I tell them to do specific things when they run, but the more fast running you do, the more efficiency they'll develop. So that's where we focus more than anything else. It's not so, we do drills and flexibility and strengthening and things like that, but running fast will develop more efficient running.
How much emphasis do you put on strength training development?
I try and do as much with their natural, the weight of their body, and through natural type of methods. We do weight training, but it's not a focus. It's probably a small portion of what I feel athletes will develop as success. We do a lot more with body weight, and I say like push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups. We do things like step-ups on benches. We do lunges. will do a lot of things that don't necessarily involve weight other than their body weight itself. It's important to have the strength, but I think to develop the strength in a natural way is one of the things. For example, hill training. We do hill training 2 or 3 times a week, and I feel that's very, very important with the athletes. Much more so with women than men, because women have that lack of testosterone and lack of muscle strength that a male that might be of equal ability, the males would do better simply because they're stronger in a hilly course. And so I think it's important for women to focus on developing that strength. But we do as much as we can. And when I say natural, we do things in the weight room, but it's more just using your body weight and things that anyone could do. And then we try and focus on that.
Can you explain some of the difference between training, let's say, a miler and a 100-meter sprinter?
Well, when you look at it physiologically, the energy systems are different between a sprinter and a distance runner. A sprinter will be using 90% of their energy as anaerobic, and probably the miler, you're getting close to 50-50 aerobic, anaerobic training systems. And so the training will focus specifically on those types of training. You need to know that when I look at what I'm doing for a miler, I better be doing about half of it aerobic, half of it anaerobic. And for a sprinter, probably 95% of it will be anaerobic, and then a small percentage would be aerobic.